When I was a child, I had a natural goodness of soul which led men to love animals, all kinds of animals. I was kid young when I married. You will understand the joy I feel to think that my wife shared with me my love for animals. Quickly she got for us several pets of the most likable kind. We had birds, some goldfish, a fine dog, and a cat. The cat was a beautiful animal, of unusually large size and either black. I named the cat Pluto, and it was the pet like it best.
I alone fed it, and they followed me all around the house. It was even with difficulty that I stopped it from following me through the streets. Our friendship lasted, in this manner, for several years, during which, however, my own character began greatly changed. I began to drink too much wine and other strong drink. As the days passed, I became less loving in my manner. I became quick to anger, I forgot how to smile and laugh. My wife, yes, and my pets too, all except the cat, were made to feel the change in my character. One night I came home quite late from the inn, where I now spent more and more time drinking. Walking with uncertain step, I made my way with effort into the house. As I entered, I saw or thought I saw that Pluto, the cat, was trying to stay out of my way, to avoid me. This action, by an animal which I had thought still loved me, made me angry beyond reason. My soul seemed to fly from my body. I took my knife out of my coat and opened it. Then I took the poor animal by the neck, and with one quick movement I cut out one of its fearful eyes. Slowly the cat got well. The hole where its eye had been was not a pretty thing to look at. One day, in cold blood, I tried a strong rope around the cat's neck, and take it down into the cellar under the house. I hid it from one of the good meat above my head. I hung it there until it was dead. That same night, as I lay sleeping, I heard through my open window the cries of our neighbors, and jumped from my bed and found out the entire house was filled with fire. It was only with great difficulty that my wife and I escaped, and when we were out of the house, all we could do was stand and watch it burn to the ground.
I thought of the cat I watched inborn. The cat was dead body. I had left hanging in the cellar. It seemed also that the cat had in some miserable way gassed the house to burn so that it could make me pay for my evil act, so that it could take revenge upon me. Months went by and could not drive the thought of cat on my mind. One night I sat in the inn drinking and usually in the corner I saw dark object that I had don't seen before. I went over to see what it could be. It was a cat almost exactly like Pluto. The morning after, I walked in home. However, I discovered that this cat, like Pluto, had only one eyes. One day my wife called to me from the cellar of the old building where we were not forced to live.
As I went down the stairs, the cat, following me as always, ran under my feet and nearly threw me down. In sudden anger, I took a knife and struck wildly at the cat. Quickly, my wife put out her hand and stopped my arm. This only increased my anger, and without thinking, I turned and put the knife point deep into her heart. She fell to the floor and died without a sound. I spent a few moments looking for the cat, but it was gone, and I had other things to do, for I knew I must do something with the body and quickly. Suddenly, I noted a place in the wall of the cellar where stones had been added to the wall to cover an old fireplace which was no longer wanted. Behind them there was, as I knew there must be, a hole just big enough to hold the body. With much effort I put the body in a careful put the stone back in their place. I was pleased to see that it was quite impossible for anyone to know that a single stone had been moved. Days passed. Still there was no cat. A few people came and asked about my wife, but I answered them easily. Then, one day, several officers of the police came, certain that they could find nothing. I asked them in and went with them as they searched. Finally, they searched the cellar from end to end. I watched them quietly, and, as I expected, they noticed nothing. But as they started up the stairs again, I felt myself driven by some unknown inner force to let them know, to make them know that I had won the battle. The walls of this building, I said, are very strongly built. It's a final house. And I struck with my stick that very place in the wall behind which was the body of my wife. Immediately, I felt a cold feeling up and down my back, as we heard, coming out of the wall itself, a horrible cry. For one short moment the officers stood looking at each other. Then, quickly they began to pick at the stones, and in a short time they saw before them the body of my wife, black, with dried blood and smelling of decay. On the body's head, its one eye filled with fire, its wide open mouth the color of blood, sat the cat, crying out its revenge.